Writing actual physical checks is becoming a thing of the past for many people as digital payments become the standard. But some things can't be paid for with cash, a check, or a card. Some very important things. Well, I'll tell you what they are in a moment, but first, let me welcome you to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thank you for joining me today. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, then let me invite you to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. Hey, why not join our email list to get Mornings with Bishop Robert sent directly to your inbox each morning and lots of other great benefits? Click the link in the description. You'll find out all you need to know. Well, writing a check is becoming so uncommon that 1/3 of the people in Gen Z, people born during the late 1990s and early 2000s, have never written one. Not only that, there are people who are forgetting how to do it. And Google searches on how to write a check have been on a steady increase for the last decade. Year after year, those searches peak in late August and early September when kids are returning to college. It seems that students living off campus for the first time are likely facing the daunting task of writing a check, most likely for their rent. Though the process has always been a fundamentally strange act. I mean, that requirement of writing out the amount in words and then drawing that squiggly line across the remainder of the space, supposedly in an effort to prevent someone from tampering with the individual digits. Well, it's quaint by today's standards of financial security. Then there's the questionable wisdom of handing a complete stranger a document with your bank account and routing number printed plainly across the bottom, which is uncomfortably close to giving them the keys to your bank account and trusting they won't help themselves to what's inside. But a blank check, signed and ready to use, now that's almost unheard of. Or is it? See, today's verse comes to us from the book of Job and says, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." Well, even if you're not overly familiar with the Bible, you've likely heard about Job. People often know something about the difficult challenges he faced for a short period of his life, losing family and fortune in a single day, and then developing serious health issues. References to Job's woes are abundant. But you may not have heard that Job received double for all his losses after he'd passed the tests set out before him. But what increased beyond measure for him was the one thing he never lost: his faith. In the midst of the worst time in his life, 3 of Job's friends come to sit with him. And though they're supposedly there to comfort him, it doesn't take long for the questions and even the accusations to start. "Well, you must have done something to deserve this." That develops as a common theme. And while Job maintains his innocence, Job, as it happens, is innocent. And he's passing the test put before him with flying colors. And though Job tells his 3 friends that he doesn't have any idea why the Lord has allowed this calamity to come upon him, and even says he'd love the opportunity to ask God face to face why all this is going on, there's one thing Job never does. He never abandons his faith or his determination to give God his very best. He never stops trusting God, even when his situational understanding is 0. He decides to stand in faith and trust the one who knows all things and loves him so deeply and has a reason for allowing this, even if Job can't comprehend it. The crowning answer to the challenges of his wife and his friends comes in the verse I quoted today. Though he slay me, yet I will trust him. You know, Job is basically saying, this isn't about me. It never was, never will be. My life, my family, my wealth, they are all in his hands to do with as he pleases. He's the Lord. I'm the vassal servant. I live to serve him, and everything I have is already his. I've often used the illustration that someone entering the armed services of their nation is basically signing a blank check, payable to their country, for an amount up to and including their very lives. That decision was already made when they took the oath of enlistment, a foregone conclusion. Because some things can't be paid for with a pile of cash or even an actual check. They can only be paid for with a life. And our sin is one of those things. It will absolutely cost someone's life. And Jesus says, you get to choose whose life will pay that massive price. Yours or his? Well, we're out of time again today. But let me ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better. Please like this video. It'll help more people see it. And then click follow or subscribe so that you and I can get together every day. Click the link in the description and you'll get a free copy of my book, Count to One, God's Plan for Christian Unity. And you'll also get Mornings with Bishop Robert in your inbox every day. Hey, one more thing. Share this video with a friend, would you? Because as you do, you're part of the team, touching the hearts of millions of people all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thank you for helping.